Cool. So what are you thinking? Talk to me about what your vision is.
So what I was looking at is like more like an organic. I want it to be an everyday ring. Um so like not like big and bulky. Like I want to be able to sleep in it like if I forget about it. Um
Yeah.
so I'm usually like I just have a thin band I've been wearing. So I want something more organic. Um I don't know, like not waves, but like pebbles and waves, kind of like that's what that like movement, I guess, is what I'm kind of what I've been thinking about all day. So
Cool.
yeah,
Awesome.
we'll see.
Okay. So it sounds like that's awesome. That's a great place, perfect place to start. So it sounds like we'll want to go to a band shape. It sounds like
Yeah.
that, bringing it in. So getting rid of that top texture.
Yep.
Cool. So the way the first strategy to start that is you take your coarse sandpaper and you can just truly like hold it
Go to
down.
town.
Yep. Just hold it down onto your tabletop. And then you'll take your corners that you want to basically get rid of and just
Yep.
grind them away.
Okay.
And then once you feel like you're doing progress on the corners, don't be afraid to kind of do like a half circle motion like this to get your band shape coming on in terms of the curves at the corners. So I think that's the first place to start, for sure. Second thing is I don't want to interrupt your work, but
No, go ahead.
do you have your phone? Do you have your phone handy?
Oh my gosh, yes.
If you go to my Instagram, I think
Okay.
it's two posts ago, 2 or 3 posts ago, you'll see 2 silver rings done by carvers and waves were their inspiration. And they made band rings. But I want you to just look at what they did because I think it's really cool. It does it in 2 dimensions. It's a band, his and hers. So there's a motion. It's a band, but with a wave motion. There's an emerald, a little emerald, not the point, set in hers, and then his is the larger one. But they both were inspired by a wave motion. And I just want to point that out to you because you could maybe get an idea of how you want to designate that kind of curve.
Yeah, that's cool. I also really like the idea of like trying to get either my kid or my husband or both like of their like fingerprints or thumbprints, but I feel like that would be so difficult.
No, it's
So,
not. Let me tell you, it's not. It's really possible. Here's how you do it.
okay.
So you'll have your votive. Now it
Yeah.
does involve hot wax. So timing is of the essence because you can touch the wax when it's very soft and it's not hot anymore. Just so you know. So you'll have your votive or whatever candle you have on your table.
Yep.
So when if you do this on this project or whenever, this is how you can do it. You basically can just pass your ring, your band at that point, over your flame. It will soften. And it's soft when it starts to look wet, like water wet, shiny.
Yep.
And you'll play with it yourself, right? But just know you can soften. I just basically put that up. But basically you can see how it's wet on the corner there. You can let that soften and then touch it.
And get
I'm
that.
I'm not burning. That's not that's not burning hot. And it just picked up pattern.
Cool.
Now.
And then would it translate well into the mold? Or
if it's the last thing you do. Like if it's like, because it kind of, that's where like you're becoming like a real jewelry designer. You're feeling the pressure of because you'll want to basically clear the palette with that slight melt, touch it.
And then be done.
If the edges are weird, you can clear those. Like, so maybe you want to think design wise, like to have them touch. And then maybe you do like a little smooth wipe in between or something. Because there could be like marks, or you just embrace sort of the artistic vibe of what you're doing.
Right.
But I will say wax is amazing when it gets cast to metal through the lost wax casting process. It catches all that detail. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's possible that it will catch it, but it's like a little bit of a maneuver with your partners. One thing with your son, they always are moving. And
I know that's
so
if it doesn't happen, like my thinking was like, oh, it'd be cool, but if it doesn't happen, then
it's possible. Whatever. And you know what? Here's the beauty. You can try it.
And then
if it doesn't
melt it.
translate or it just sort of looks like a schmoke, you can
Yeah.
just either design over it and scrape a pattern into it, or you can
Yeah.
repass it through your flame as many times as you want, or sand it with the fine sandpaper to just
Yep.
remove and to sort of start over. So it might take like give it 3 tries and then maybe it'd be fine, you know?
Right.
So
Okay.
I
We'll
personally am
see.
a big fan of like trying stuff, and then if it just like doesn't fly, then you're like, okay, we tried it.
Yeah.